EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in a very rainy Kansas City, Missouri at venerable GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
In the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in week 4.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And they'll run. It's Ken Walker.
And he'll be tackled at about the 30. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
And Xavier Worthy,
his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Chiefs need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You talk about this Chiefs defense.
In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course. A pretty nice effort.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the 1st drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10.
This time, Jackson will throw it.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have it here just past the 25. Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
They go play action now. Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Chiefs 33-yard line.
In motion left, Flowers.
Now Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A first down carry for Henry. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing is Jackson. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Wow, with the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down. Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 of the 24.
24-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Back to Welker on 1st down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
At the 37-yard line.
Mahomes now to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. You look at this Baltimore defense.
It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the...
Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First catch on that one for Kelsey, and it's a first down.
First down.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second down and 8.
Here's Mahomes to throw.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
Past the 20. 5. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Ken Walker.
43 yards. And they're able to add on to their advantage.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
14. Ravens 3.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's Jackson to throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, they had a nice return on top of it, all the way to the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy made the play. He gets the points. But it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
And Hill will opt for the touchback.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, and discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Now it's Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And the punt goes out of bounds. So no chance to bring it back, and they will spot it at the 24-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here's 2nd and 10.
At the 24-yard line.
Now here's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Yellow.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Third and 5.
Yellow.
Now Mahomes. Throw out wide to Walker. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard. If that.
A 4-yard gain. It's 4th down.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. Araiza is on to punt here as he gets this one away. Now Hill to return it. A very good punt, but a 16-yard return.
And the Ravens will take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
They're looking deep here for Flowers. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Shreds the tackle. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They go play fake. Mahomes.
That's caught right side by Worthy.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
City Chiefs. First down. First and 10.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
This one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Out of the gun, Walker with it.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Mahomes going to throw. He's got a man wide open, complete. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown.
And the Chiefs are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And a route is on here in this first half.
Harrison Butker at a kickoff for Kansas City.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And Hill will opt for the touchback.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5.
They go play action with Jackson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well. So give some credit to the defense.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Jackson now.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is in into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 55 yards. And the Ravens get a bit closer. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 28-10.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with a little under a minute to go, it's still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down it goes. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
At the 22-yard line.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Third down at 6.
Yellow. Come on, Eddie. Hey, 43. Yellow.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it. Brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10.
In motion left, Flowers.
Jackson.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. As the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
And Bateman, and he'll go in motion right here.
Here's Jackson. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Oh, for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Sheds off the tackle.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Harrison Butker at a kickoff for Kansas City.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. But that one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and break it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Kenneth Walker with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Chiefs take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And they open the lead up now to 25.
Butker to kick off for Kansas City.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now it's Jackson.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into the second-half blowout material. 60 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Mahomes. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down.
Kansas City Chiefs. First down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
43! 43!
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go. It's good.
Oh, great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run.
A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Here we go. It's hot. Green light. Go.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Justin Fields.
A 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Chiefs just continue to roll. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
We changed it.
Jackson.
Now he'll tuck this and run. Throw caught by Flowers.
And that's good for a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. He was out there waving his arms. I mean, you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help. I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
I'm going to go.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Yellow. That's a line. My side.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
It gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Here we go, son. 58, who's that?
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green 19, get that.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. To throw is Jackson. And the Chiefs are going to get him. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first.
And the Baltimore first down.
The slot man in motion right.
47-yard line.
Throwing is Jackson.
Now he's going to step up and run.
Underneath here to Hill. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
And Jackson throwing once more.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
Still shedding tackles. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman.
36 yards.
And the Ravens get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2.
The Ravens will line up for the
They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
42. Ravens 16.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Up the middle, Johnson
To the 43, 2nd down.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talking over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 8.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Here's Mahomes to throw.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And he's going to be out of bounds but not before he takes it inside the 40. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. The one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll give up the middle to Johnson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. This defense tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Mahomes now to throw.
Now a screen set up for Johnson.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And my goodness, another interception. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
The big man, Nnamdi Madubuike, there on the tackle.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
Yeah, he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Up the middle, here's Walker.
And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. There to make the stop was John Jenkins. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This from 32 yards away. Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Jackson going to keep it.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
And it's 3rd down.
Now it's Jackson.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
6 yards.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.